Hey everyone, how are you all? As you can probably see, I managed to get my DSLR camera set up with live stream, so the quality is way better. So, I'm so excited. The audio though, I haven't managed to quite get up, but maybe for next time. So, I'm so excited for this second live stream. I'm probably just going to wait for a few of you to join in first. If you are here, thank you so much for being here. And if you wanted to invite your friends along, or if you wanted to share this channel with anyone who you think might get a lot of use out of it, then please do. The more people we have, the more of a community we can create here and ask each other lots of questions. Last time I remember everyone kind of got super chatty and kind of went off topic talking about random stuff in the comment section. But I think that's kind of cute. Like, it's nice to see how everyone is getting along and you can give each other advice and feedback and just share your experiences. Hi, someone. Is that your real name? Thank you guys for being here. Alyssa, hello. Arpit, hi. Ooh, you guys are experiencing a lag. Is it a lag with the audio or a lag with the video? Let me know. I did notice when I was starting up this live stream, when I was doing a few practices, that there is a little bit of a lag. I tried to fix it up, but if there is, then write it down. Let me know what's happening. I might not be able to fix it this time for this live stream, but if you guys give me feedback, then I should be able to use that and hopefully fix it up for next time. Whee! There's a few of you here. Hooray! Okay. Cool. So, the reason why we are here today is because we are talking about starting a new school year. So, we're talking about transitioning from one year level into another. So, that's the topic for today, the main theme, if you may say. And so, if you guys have any questions at all, then make sure you start asking the questions in the comment section in the live chat, and I will start answering you guys. Woohoo! Hi Kevin, thanks for being here. If you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm looking down at my laptop to see what you guys are all saying. Okay. How's your days been so far? I had a really good weekend. I had a mango party for the first time. Well, I didn't have the mango party. I went to a friend's place and we pretty much, 5 or 6 of us, said to ourselves that we would have a mango party. We bought an entire box of mangoes and we literally just ate mangoes. It was great. So that was last night, and while we ate a lot of mangoes, it didn't quite fill us up, so we went for dinner. But then afterwards, for the first time, I played this game called Mafia. Have you guys played Mafia before? Because, man, it is so fun. I don't want to go too off topic, just want to share with you guys what's been happening in my life. But yeah, if you don't know about Mafia and if you want to play a game with your friends, all it requires is a stack of cards, just normal playing cards, and just a lot of, a lot of wit, a lot of intelligence to try to get other people to think a certain way. It's just really fun. So yeah, maybe I'll talk about it at some other point. So let me get started on some of these questions. So I hope you guys managed to get here because you have subscribed to the notifications and that you've hit the bell button. If you haven't, then I would highly recommend that you do hit the bell button. Now, I know a lot of YouTubers say that, but the reason why I'm telling you is because the bell button will tell you when I am doing a live stream. So live stream, you know, there's only one chance and then it's pretty much gone if you miss it. So if you do hit the notifications, then you should get it straight to your phone or to your email, so that way you won't ever miss out. And since I'm doing these every single month, I would say it's definitely well worth it. So the first question I am going to answer is, dun, da, 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 da. Whose question am I going to answer first? Will it be you? Okay. So I'm going to answer a question from Alyssa. Oh, Alyssa has no lag. Thank you. That's good to know. So what should I do in the holidays before I officially start year 12? So first thing, I am so excited for you. You are starting year 12. It's going to be an awesome year. It's going to be a big year, but it's going to be one of the years in your life that you will look back on, and I think it's just one of those years that people never really forget. And what I would recommend you do in the holidays, and the reason why I want to answer this question is because a lot of people have been asking me about it in other videos. First thing, obviously relax. Take some time off. Make sure you actually give yourself a bit of a break, especially because year 12 is such an intensive year. So I don't say that to be like, oh, make sure your life is balanced. Look, I'm serious. Year 12 is a hard marathon, and you just want to make sure that you're in the best state possible when you get started in it. So really use this opportunity in the next couple of months to go out with friends, to catch up on mini movies that you wanted to watch, or any TV shows you didn't get to throughout the year, or go to the beach. Whatever it is that you do, I would say get started with that. Then, if you want to get a head start with year 12, there are definitely some things you could do. Obviously, English is my specialty, so I'm going to let you guys know what you can do for English. I have created a video for this in the past, and I might pop it up in a card up above, so please don't mind me as I'm multitasking. Read your books. So when we read our textbooks for school, there's a few different ways you can go about it. This is how I think is most strategic. The first time you read through a book, so you should have 4 books that you're reading for school. I would try to read through all 4 of them, starting with the one that you are going to start at school first. So if it's the text that you're studying first, read that first. Just because if you don't happen to get through all of the books, then it's okay, because let's say the 4th book you don't manage to read and you end up doing it all the way in term 3 anyway, like it's not as much of an impact, because probably even if you did read it, by the time you get to term 3, you'll probably forget most of it anyway. So that's kind of what I would strategize with. I would say the first time that you read it, please just read it for reading's sake. We sometimes get ahead of ourselves and we try to do too much at once. So we, might go in it and start to like annotate everything and start to highlight the things that we think might be important. But just take it easy. Actually enjoy it as a book. And I think that's really important, because the more you enjoy your book, or the more that you can find a connection with your book, the easier it will be for you to study, and the more enjoyable again. But with that sense of fun, you actually tend to do better. And I think that comes into the fact that you're more absorbed into it, So just take your first time reading it. What I would recommend, if it's a book that you feel like, it's just so confusing, like if it's Shakespeare, if it's real like an ancient Greek book where the words are just like kind of different from what you're used to, if you're reading Old English and it's just, you're not used to the type of descriptions, what they say, the type of words, then I would go ahead first and just look it up on SparkNotes or something and just read a little bit about the plot, and read a little bit about the themes. Obviously, this will spoil it for you, but that's what I would do if you just really don't feel like you're going to be able to get into it, just because purely it's so hard to even process. Once you've done that, then I think it's enough for you to kind of start looking at study guides and start understanding what sort of themes are inside the novel or the film that you're studying. So when we understand the themes, we kind of start to understand what type of essay topics will be asked. And when we understand what type of essays topic will be asked, we understand what in the book will start to be important to support those type of points. So whether it be events that happen, characters and their personal development, or quotes, that's the sort of stuff you can start thinking about. Really, I would pretty much leave it there for the school holidays. That's all I pretty much did. If you really did want to go even further into it, what you could do is start highlighting quotes and start kind of making up your own notes. And I would have to say that this would only really be possible if you got support from online. So if you, again, looked at SparkNotes or Shmoov or whatever you guys are looking at these days, whatever works for you, kind of gain a sense of what's out there and then try to incorporate with your understanding. There is a more opposite. There is something different you could do if you were to go on another pathway, and that is to literally only write down your understanding about the book and not look at any study guides at all. The reason why that could be beneficial is because that way your interpretation of the book is not influenced or tainted by others. And in English, having our own unique understanding is pretty impressive. So that's just something for you to think about, okay? I am going to try to find the link to my summer holiday video, the one where I talk about reading text. So I kind of go through what I talked about then, but I think I talk about a few other things too. So yeah. Okay, I can't find it. That's cool. I will move on. Oh, I see lots and lots of questions. Thank you guys for asking. I am going to get to them in just 1 second. Okay. And maybe I'll pop it in the comments below afterwards. Hi XT, thanks for being here. Hey Takaru, congratulations on finishing year 12. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Okay. No problems, Alyssa. I'm more than happy to answer your question. Okay, so our next question is, Joe Pineapple, do you like pineapples? I have to say I don't like pineapples on my pizza. Okay, do you guys like pineapples on your pizza? So Joe Pineapple's question is, how do you prepare for VCE and not stress as the workload gets harder from the transition? That's a really good question. Thank you for asking. So when we talk about stress and workload, I think that when we go into VCE, we hear so many things about what VC is, and a lot of it is talk from other people who've gone through it, or you just hear it from like family or friends that it's super stressful and that there's a lot to do. Yes, there's a lot of workload, but it doesn't mean that you can't handle it. And if you're watching this video, then I know that you're someone who's invested in your studies, and I'm confident that you'll be able to handle it just fine. When it comes to dealing with stress, there are a few different ways that we can go about it. The one thing I want to tell you about how I personally manage stress, and this is like the one thing that's just always clicked with me, and I hope that maybe if I share this with you, it'll help you be able to handle stress as well. Pretty much when you're stressed, what I do is I remind myself, okay, I'm feeling stressed, but do I need to feel this way? And there's no point in feeling stressed when you can't change the situation. So why not change your mentality towards it and just be like, okay, I'm going to go and target this. I'm going to write down my list of to-dos for today, and starting with what's my highest priority down to lowest priority and least urgent, and I'm just going to start going through them. I think with stress, we can sometimes let it get to us, but stress isn't going to change the situation. It's your actions that's going to change the situation and for you to get through that workload. So yeah, I don't know. I hope that that kind of helps. It's something that I literally think about whenever I'm stressed. I just say to myself, okay, I acknowledge that I'm stressed, but then that's it. Like, stress only makes me feel kind of worse about the situation. It can kind of push me a little bit and motivate me to like kind of get things done. But other than that, like I kind of just say to myself, okay, I'm stressed. It's fine. Let's get to work. So yeah, I hope that's okay of an answer. All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. Okay, what's our next question? This is a really cool question. It's me. Thanks for being here. You ask a question that seems a bit more kind of life focused rather than very specific to study, but I kind of like it, so I think I might answer it. What do you do when you're paralyzed or feeling stagnant in life? Awesome question. Really, really insightful. I would say that for all of us, we at some point in our lives feel like we're not growing anymore, or we feel stuck. And it could be for so many different reasons. Every person is different, I would say, but at some point, you will feel like you're not really progressing and you're not really developing. Something I want to share with you is something called the S curve. So let me do this on camera and hopefully see if it kind of, if I'm doing it the right way, from left to right or right to left. So the S curve basically is, in my eyes, it's kind of like a learning curve, except instead of just that or whatever, it's an S, right? And when we start learning something, we'll slowly start to understand it, right? And then we're just gonna like reach this point where we're just gonna shoot up and learn heaps and just get either like really skilled really quickly or gain a lot of understanding really quickly. And then we're gonna plateau and the learning is not going to be as fast. Because for us, just in general, like we can't always be accelerating and always be learning exponentially all the time. Like it comes in waves. So in that sense, when you are feeling stagnant or when you are feeling stuck, I just want you to not to be too hard on yourself, because it's most likely that you're just in a point where you kind of just need to be in that situation for a little while, and then everything else will kind of take charge in a bit of time. Okay, things that I do when I'm kind of feeling stagnant is I just stop what I'm doing. So if I'm trying to push through with work or if I'm trying to learn something, I'll just give it up and I'll take a break and I'll go and read. I love reading self-development books, and I love reading, that kind of thing. And I gain a lot of insight from those type of books. So that's just my thought. I hope that's helpful. Yay! Oh, I also wanted to say, now, one of you asked me to dab last time, and I was gonna do it, but I forgot. So there you go. I don't get embarrassed very easily. I'm just letting you guys know now. It's very hard to embarrass me. So bring it on. Ask me I think it'd be pretty cool for you guys to request of me to do one thing every live stream. So just something fun. So whether it's like dabbing or I don't know, like acting out your favorite character from whatever movie, or even if it's like showing you something silly, then let's do that. So I want you guys to, pop it down in the comments below if there's anything you kind of want to see me do or say, then yeah, I'll try to fulfill those roles. One more thing is I want to name this live stream segment something kind of cool. I was thinking like Lisa, live with Lisa, because there's a little bit of alliteration, but other than that, I feel like I haven't been overly creative. So if you guys can suggest a catchy name for me, something that I'll put up for every single live stream, then please let me know. I'd love it. Ooh, twerking. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what other things other people are saying. Okay. Well, the dabbing I already did this time. So whatever you guys request of me, I will do it next live stream. Or maybe this one. We'll see. We'll see how much time we have and how many questions I get through. Okay. So remember, guys, this should be about transitioning into a new school year and how to help with that. So if you guys are asking about exams and stuff, I think we're going to have to save that for another period when it's going to be, an exam-focused one. So keep asking me questions about, a new school year, what you should expect, that sort of thing. Okay. Cool. So our next question comes from, who's it gonna be? Wow, you guys are asking a lot of questions. I'm not sure which one to answer. Oh, Tamina, thank you so much. Tamina says, I promise your videos are better than the way teachers teach at our school. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Okay. So, the next question is it comes from a Cash. Hey Cash, thanks for being here. Is it possible to get a decent study score if you've averaged C's in year 11? Absolutely. Your marks in 1 year aren't really a strong indicator. Like, you can improve so much, in a short amount of time, and I've seen it every single year. If you have the motivation and you really put in the effort to do better in a certain subject, then it is definitely possible, and I can tell you guys that I've seen it. So if you guys haven't seen my last video, I actually talked about being an average student and how I became an A+ student in year 12. So, I was never like an A+ student naturally and like super gifted and stuff. That wasn't me. But I actually just started to put in a lot more effort when it came to English, and that really paid off. So it doesn't have to be for English for you guys. It could be any other subject, but I truly believe that it's possible to change, the way that you're going in something in a very short amount of time. So don't use it as an indication like, oh, in year 11, I didn't really do that well. So in year 12, I probably won't either. Like no one, and I think these kind of questions are like, sometimes there's no point to these questions, like when you ask somebody, oh, this is how I've been going. Do you think I could get that? Really, it's not about that person's opinion. It's really about you and what you're going to do about it. Like someone can tell you, yes, you can do it, absolutely. Or someone could, on the other hand, go, no way. Like there's just no way you're going to be able to succeed. But you need to be the person who's going to be out there to either prove them wrong or prove them right that you are going to do well. So, sometimes when you guys, I just want to this is just like a general thing I want to really teach you guys and change the mentality when it comes to asking questions like, oh, what study score am I going to get? I got 40, I got this score for this SAC and then this score for this SAC. And so what do you think I'm going to get? Like, no one will be able to tell you exactly what you're going to get. You can pretty much just go to your calculators, the ATA calculators, and try to figure it out there. But even that's not accurate, and no one is going to know, because every single year, the way that it's standardized and the way that it's marked just depends on who you're competing against. So there's no God out there who's going to tell you a definitive answer. So you're kind of wasting your time by just asking oh, what am I going to get on this? What am I going to get on this? I get emails from students all the time, literally giving me all their SAC marks and going, what am I going to get? And I'm not going to respond to those because I'm not there's no way I can tell you, And plus, your time is being wasted because you're just focusing on the fact that you've done this in the past. What's that going to mean for you in the future? But you're not actually doing the difference for what it's going to take for you to become awesome in the future. Does that make sense, guys? So, if you guys are watching my videos, I want to tell you guys, and I want you guys to be the smart ones, and for you guys to understand, don't get absorbed with what everyone else is saying with study scores and with SAC marks and, constantly just trying to calculate what kind of score you're going to get. That kind of stuff, yes, it matters to some extent, but what's going to make more of an impact is you kind of actually putting in the work and digging yourself into, your homework or actually doing your SAC preparation rather than, wasting time trying to calculate what you're going to get at the end of the year. Because I can guarantee you that everyone who tries to get a certain number at the end of the year that's been calculated for them or that's been told to them by somebody, it's never accurate. So, and I can say that because I did the same. I was on ATA calculator and stuff, and I tried to calculate my score, but it was completely different by the time I graduated. So, yeah, I'm going to preach this more in the future because this is something I so strongly believe in. And so if you want me to do a video on this, talking more about it and why, it's important to have a shift in mentality, let me know, okay? Pop it down in the comment section below or in the live chat. Okay. I'm going to link you to how I went from average to A+. And I'm going to chuck that in a card up above. Create card. Cool. Okay. Ooh, we're halfway through this segment. Yay! By the way, guys, I just wanted to let you know, if you guys are asking me questions here, love it. Thank you so much for being here. I also wanted you to know that on my mailing list, I do respond to 3 to 5 questions every single week. So if you send through an email to me asking me for advice on whatever it is, I won't respond to you directly, but I might select it and answer it in my mailing list. So if you guys haven't signed up for that, then it's in the description just down below. There's a link for it. Sign up, because that way you kind of get more Q&As on a weekly basis, and it's kind of like snack size, like it's not too much. You can kind of just scroll through, look at what's relevant to you, and just have a quick read, after school or something. Awesome. Okay. Oof. My live chat is lagging a little bit. Okay. Aw, thank you. I don't know how to say your name. Maze? Mahez? Oh, I'm totally butchering it. I'm so sorry. Write it down in the comments. Tell me how I should be spelling it or saying it. But you say, Lisa's so positive about everything. I like her personality. Thank you. I think it's really important to stay positive, especially as you guys are studying. You guys gotta have somebody who's, I've got your back. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you what you should be focusing on, what you shouldn't be focusing on. I'm gonna tell you not to waste your time on certain things like I just did just then. So yeah. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so we've got I have made. Ooh, we can make some of you guys moderators too. So I might actually do that. If you're interested in being a moderator, let me know. Oh, okay, this is a great question. So we were talking before about how important it is to start reading during your holidays. Now, Nabita says, I'd love some advice on how to enjoy the texts we are set to read. I love reading, but aside from Medea, I don't enjoy any of the texts this year because I felt like reading them was a chore. Totally get it. Not all of the texts that you'll be reading will be texts that you actually enjoy. And I completely understand you. Sometimes there are texts that I don't enjoy either, but they just have to be done. What I try to do is I try to remember that when I start actually studying the text, sometimes it actually becomes a lot more interesting because you start to go beyond the surface of literally just reading the text, like the plot, and actually dive into the in between the lines, right? So if there's a way for you to kind of try to figure out what that is, so whether it is starting to look up study guides or chatting to your friends or your teacher, then do that. So, for example, one of my favorite books is 1984, and I will tell you over and over again that I love it, but I can also tell you that the first time I read it, I was bored less. Okay, bored less. Why 1984 is very it's a lot of it is spent kind of telling you about that world, about the rules that are in place. And so as a 16-year-old, I was just like, okay, well, this is not interesting at all. But what happened was as I got to understand this text and understand the themes and what the author was trying to say, that's when I started to get really involved in it, and it became my favorite book. So I think when you start to maybe look at it from a different angle, don't look at it from like a plot perspective, because sometimes it will be boring and it won't be interesting. But if you start to try to understand, okay, why is the author writing this text? What are they trying to teach us? Then you can start to understand how it relates to us in real life, or if it's speaking about a particular period. So, for example, I have it was The Crucible. The Crucible was okay by Arthur Miller. It was not bad, but when I understood that this book was Arthur Miller pretty much talking about the communism scare during 1950s to 60s America, just after World War II, during the Cold War period, that's when things started to go, get really interesting, and I started to realize, wow, this is actually really relevant, and it actually has an impact on me and my life as I know it now. So yeah, that's just how I would try to go about it, okay? So I have made Charlene a moderator. Thank you for being here and moderating for me. Okay. So, what other questions have we got now? We've only got, less than 25 minutes left. So let's make the most out of it. What are you guys concerned about when going into a new school year? Or what are you most concerned about? That's it. Let's leave it at that. Write it down and let me know. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Nabita. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, it's not like your full name, but anyways, she says, thanks, I think you're right. I loved Medea because I was really able to pull it apart and analyze so many elements and underlying themes within. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, you'll read books later on, or you'll watch movies that are award winning, and you watch it and walk out and go, okay, I don't really understand why that was award winning. But then if you kind of start to research more about it and dig deeper, I think that's when things start to get really interesting. Okay. Okay. So we've got a question. I'm concerned about Head Start. Try to elaborate for me because that looks interesting and I'll answer. Ooh. Okay, so we've got Roxy G. Thanks for being here, Roxy. I'm concerned that I will burn out. I feel you, girl, and I have done a video on that in the past. So I will also link that for you. Burnout is something I think the best thing right now is the fact that you're aware of what burnout is and that you're concerned about it, because I think that puts you in a position to be able to prevent it from happening, right? So twist it. See how these things can be positive. So burnout basically happens when you just keep pushing and pushing and you just don't stop. And eventually you'll just be so tired and so worn down by what you're doing. So burnout really comes down to creating balance throughout your schooling years, especially in VCE. And it comes down to making sure that you still live your life outside of studying as well. Okay? Where? I'm trying to find videos so I can link them to you guys, but the live stream end of YouTube is kind of confusing. So yeah, bear with me, guys. I'll get better at this. Okay, what's next? Okay, so we have. Oh, okay. So Mahez says, "What do you do in Head Start. So I think Head Start is actually just a term. When you start early, it's called a Head Start. So it means anything from starting to read your text early, or even if it's starting your syllabus early, or even if it just means, getting your notes all kind of prepared and, making them into folders and organizing everything. Anything that you're doing before the school year actually starts is Head Start. So, yeah, that's it. All right. Hi, Viana. Thank you for being here. Okay. So, XT asks, how do you prepare the transition between year 10 or year 11? I've chucked it in a card for you, so go ahead and watch that. Nathan Sims, I feel like I've kind of, it goes back to basically starting to read your text for English, and what I've mentioned at the start of this video, and I would just kind of stick with that. If it's for other subjects, it really just depends on the subject. If you wanted to kind of get started earlier, then feel free to. But what else could you do? Year 11 to year 12. Oh, I want you guys to also, obviously this is going to be English related because I'm an English guru, but sometimes, you always hear people say, oh, you should be reading more, or you should just read more, right? And I feel like that's it's just such a generic thing to say, okay, what does it mean to read more? How much more should I be reading? What should I be reading? And how does reading more actually help me? And I think, reading more obviously does help. There are so many benefits with reading more, but I think particularly for you guys as students, where you want to be able to take something away from reading more, like you want to have a purpose, that's the whole thing. Like, you gotta have a purpose and like a mission behind it, okay? I don't think reading more for the sake of more vocabulary is a smart idea. I just don't. I think it's way too random. Like, if you're just reading newspaper articles, or if you're reading a book, the vocabulary is going to be way too random for you to actually apply to your text. Like, if they overlap, awesome, but it's highly likely that it's not going to. So what do you actually do to improve your state of mind when it comes to English? The smartest thing to do is understand that philosophy and history, that's it, are very important when it comes to English texts. So once you've read your book, for example, and you understand what it's about, try to understand the context, which is like the background and the history behind that book. And philosophy comes into it because that's more about what the author is saying and the bigger idea that we're trying to take away from it. So if you start researching stuff about those topics, understanding the context with history, understanding the author's message with the philosophical kind of background, that's actually going to be way more strategic extra reading for you than just randomly reading, like, I don't know, some book that's recommended to you by somebody just for the sake of reading. Like, obviously, if you want to read the book, go for it. That's awesome. But if you're just kind of reading so that you can improve your English and you want there to be a tangible, like, reason behind it, that's what I would do, because I really feel like it can benefit your understanding of the text and get you on that really higher level. Yeah? Alright. Cool. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So yeah, with Keith, like, I'm kind of semi on this pathway anyway, so I can answer this question. How do you find text-specific vocabulary? text-specific vocabulary should come more naturally. So once you're starting to read the book, oh my gosh, I'm going to link another video for you guys. How about that? Cards all around. How to improve your vocab for your specific text. Actually read the book. The book is fantastic for, giving you vocab. Like if you're reading burial rights, misogyny, patriarchy, like those are words that come out from the book itself. So that's really good. Go and read study guides about it, because reading study guides about the text will generally give you vocabulary about the text specifically. You know what I mean? Then if you kind of read about the history behind the book, that is also going to give you vocab for the book as well. So, yeah, simple as that. Don't go off and read random stuff, because that's not going to be helpful. And like, I'm telling you guys these stuff because stuff that maybe I did and it didn't really help me. Nobody was able to kind of tell me these kind of things. So I hope it helps you guys. I really do. How to improve spelling. Okay. Is it this one here? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the books up, find the videos that are right for you guys. Okay, I can't find it. Moving on. Okay, guys. So we've only got 15 minutes now, so let's make the most out of this time. If you've just arrived, thank you for being here. Another live stream with Lisa. So one of the ideas that came out was live Lisa time. I suggested live with Lisa. Oh, can we do better than that, guys? If you can come up with an idea, that would be amazing. I really rely on you guys, so let me know if there's anything you can come up with. Okay. Something also just for you guys to think about. So back to Nathan's question, unless this is another question. In the summer holiday break, what should I do to better prepare myself for Year 12 next year? If we're going to step away from the educational side as well, just remember that preparation doesn't just have to be like actual study. Yeah, preparation can be other things that you do that set yourself on the right path. So even if it's like talking to people who've gone through VC itself, or watching my videos, or talking to like your school counselor, or anyone who can really help you, guide you through Year 12 and kind of help you understand that Year 12 isn't just like this mission where it's just all about study, but it's a journey and it is one hell of an experience. I think that would be super helpful. I think that will put you in the right mindset rather than going, I need to study 24/7 and that's how I'm going to get a good mark at the end of the day. I think, that like preparation also comes in multiple forms. So just have a think about that, guys. Okay. Okay. Somebody asked, did I study psychology? No, I didn't. I wish I did. I love psychology. And I read a lot of books about psychology now. So I guess that's kind of my way of making up for the fact that I didn't really study it. So some of the ideas include Lisa's listening, pizza with Lisa. Good one. Not the first time I've heard that one. Lisa's streams. Lisa Guide Live. Lisa's lively linguistic lesson. That's kind of cool. Very, very lots of alliteration. Alliteration. Lisa's Lit Live, because it's lit. I'm sorry if I embarrass you guys. I don't get embarrassed quickly, but I'm sorry if I embarrass you. Okay. What else? Yeah, keep them coming. If you guys can come up with more ideas, maybe what I'll do at some stage is I'll create a poll and I'll let you guys vote for it. But it should be something like short, something snappy, something that really hits the spot and everyone knows what's going on. Yeah? Cool. Okay, so we're kind of running out of time. So I'm going to choose one more questions. Now, before I do this, just don't forget, if you wanted to tune into the next live stream, which I will do at the end of December, then I want you guys to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, which you probably have already, but it's the bell button that's the most important. And that's because that's how you actually get notifications for the fact that I'm live. So still trying to get my head around it, but I think that's like the most foolproof way. So yeah, go ahead and hit that bell button. You can do that while I'm trying to figure out which one I should do last. Living like Lisa. Lisa's life lesson? Maybe. I feel like I want it to be something kind of fun too. Like if there's a way to make the name a little bit fun, that'd be cool. Because something like Lisa's classroom would be a little bit lame, I would say. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. The last question I'm going to say will be, who's it going to be? Is it going to be you? Is it going to be them? Is it going to be that person? Or you again? Okay, so, it's so hard to, you guys are asking such great questions. Okay. Okay, I want to answer this one because I think it can be applied to everyone, and it's the fact that some people are naturally really stressed people. My battery's gonna die soon. Okay, some people are usually really stressed people. What I would recommend you guys to do is to try to implement some tactics when it comes to dealing with stress, okay? 1, get away from study, try to do something different. 2, understand that you're stressed, be aware of it, and try to find strategies to help you manage that stress. Everyone is different, and so I already told you guys my way of dealing with stress is to be aware of it and to just go for it, because I know that I can either sit there and be stressed or I can go ahead and do something about it. So I do. But for you guys, it might be something different. I would highly recommend that if you are someone who's generally stressed, go ahead, try to figure it out now rather than later, because during this period when it's not as stressful, you can try to implement like different strategies and see what works. Later on in the year, you'll probably be more stressed and under a lot of pressure, so you might like kind of go downhill. That's just something I want you guys to do, okay? My battery is about to run out, so I'm going to say thank you so much for being here today. I'm so grateful for you and for your support. Please write down anything else you need to write down once this video is done. I'd absolutely love to hear from you guys. And until I see you guys for the next live, I will make sure that I keep you updated. I love you guys. I hope you guys have had an amazing weekend and that you continue to have one. And yeah, I will chat to you guys next time. Bye. Sorry for the rush. Bye. Oh wait, it's not over there that I need to close it. It's over here. Oh, the battery.